The Chartered Institute of Purchase and Supply Management of Nigeria says it was working to eliminate unqualified public office holders parading as procurement officers. Alhaji Sikiru Balogun, the CIPMN president, during the induction of new fellows of the institute in Abuja, urged procurement officers to be professionally certified. According to Balogun, most people, quacks parading themselves as procurement officers, are the major challenge the country has, as they lack training and knowledge of the profession and cannot function adequately.
We don't give honorary membership without certifying you are academically qualified. Our law does not permit anybody who does not have the knowledge certified by us to hold any post. That is, to hold the post of the head of any procurement department. And we are making sure that these type of people are flushed out because they are quacks. But because of the Nigerian factor, they find themselves into the profession. And they are fighting tooth and nail to make sure that we, the professionals on the job, are not allowed to practice. Those people you see outside who call themselves procurement experts or whatever they are called, they are just messing up. They are messing up, and they are the one draining the country into problem.
Similarly, Alhaji Muhammad Aliyu, the registrar of the institute, decried the procurement professionals were not performing their duties in delivering dividends of democracy to the citizens.
That made it for the professional, particularly procurement professional, not performing their duty as it's supposed to be in delivering dividend of democracy to the citizen. Be as that may be, the expectation from my new member is very high, as you could notice from even my address that I have told them to go outside there because we are all responsible to the citizenry in the sense that if this country is better, it will be better for us. Lest the procurement take the center page because that is where the totality of budget goes. A situation that procurement takes 75 to 80%, and such area is not respected. What do you think we are doing? That is misinvestment.
Abdul Mamman, a fellow and North Central coordinator of the institute, said that procurement had been identified all over the world as a cost and profit center where public money was spent for public good.
Yes, one of the basic elements involved has to do with the fact that procurement have been identified all over the world as a cost center and a profit center. And it is through that system you are able to grant money by the government, spend public money for public good. And as a result of that, the procurement, as you see it, is the only window approved by any serious government to spend her money through spend management principles, as I mentioned earlier. Nigeria, being a signatory to the Anti-Corruption Convention of the UN, was under obligation to domesticate the law in Nigeria. Thus, the country procurement assessment report that was carried out in the year 2007 that ultimately led to the enactment of Public Procurement Act. And the Public Procurement Act is a public document that is to guide our conduct as government with regards to contract administration and contracting as a whole. By so doing, Nigeria is a country that is developing, and most of her requirements are sourced through third party, and their representative are usually through the ministry, department, and agencies that are respectively having such contracts to be awarded. It's part of the problems we have faced in the country because specifically, one thing I found so surprising in Nigeria is that over time, policies are made to guide professional conduct, and the people that make these policies are not professionals in that field. So how will they give you the best? Because when a policy is enunciated, there are several assessments you need to do to ascertain its viability, practicability, and so on and so forth. But policies are just churned out by those who could hardly understand the basic elements that are involved in such policy formulation. And in terms of implementation, now there are always going to be some hiccups.
An inductee, Blessing Echewodu, expressed joy at the opportunity given to her to serve, while pledging to inculcate professional ethics in her endeavors going forward.
Going forward with the knowledge I've gotten so far from the Institute, I will ensure that due diligence is being done in whatever activity I'm doing in my choosing career, both in my company that I'm representing and everywhere I find myself. I'll make sure I represent the Institute to make sure that this noble profession will not be put to